bro. Morning.
Morning.
Today I'm going to go spend the day in Baltimore. It is kind of a little bit of an adventure. Explore the day with me. First time in Baltimore, so I'm going to check out like their library, some bookstores. But it should be a really fun day. Later I'm going to take a class about natural color dye, and so that's something I've never done before, so we can do that together. Yeah, stay tuned. I gotta go catch the train, so a little bit of a rush, but we're gonna make it. Okay, so I went on this trip alone, and I ironically almost did not go. I pretty much booked the train the night before because I was kind of on the fence about it. Honestly, sometimes I like to stay in my little comfort zone. Like, she is comfy, she is cozy, she is predictable. But I have to constantly remind myself that life is meant to be lived. And yes, comfort zones are cool for a minute, but like, there's so much life to see outside of them. And honestly, all we have is the now. So it's like constant internal battle, but like every time I go on my little adventures, even if I'm anxious beforehand, I always come back with such gratitude and just so happy that I went on them. Anyways, the train ride was about $20 round trip, and it's only about a 45-minute ride from DC to Baltimore, and they have so many options throughout the day. So our first stop is actually Café Dear Leon, where they make everything from scratch, and apparently the lines are out the door. I'm super happy I don't live closer because this place would make me like 1,000 pounds. The food was amazing. I got a chocolate croissant, and a crab sandwich, which was chef's kiss. It's located in the Canton area, which is super cute, very picturesque. It has like a lot of parks nearby, so I stumbled across a few. And then I walked to the Canton waterfront park, and it was so peaceful. It was like the perfect weather. It was high 70s, low 60s, and it's like the right amount of shade. Here is my crab sandwich, which was heavenly. The bread was super buttery and fluffy, and I ate it in like 2 seconds. Okay, so here's my new friend. We talked about everything under the sun, but she also shared a lot about Baltimore's history with me, which is so rich and like so much to learn. Now I am on my way to La Biblioteca, which is my favorite word in Spanish, which is a library. This library in particular happens to be considered one of the most beautiful libraries in the country. It's the George Peabody Library, and it's about 5 stories of books. But you can't actually go on any other floor other than the first, I think. But they also hold a lot of weddings here. But it is very, very breathtaking. It's very like massive and beautiful to look at. Also, would it be a city visit without a bookstore visit? Here is Viva Bookstore. I got to talk to the owner, and she was so kind. But what I really liked about her is that she was telling me about her neighbor who had a plant and wine spot, and she was like really hyping up their happy hour. And to me, it was kind of representative of like community and having each other's back and like we're all in this together, you know. And so that really stood out to me. She was like, it was like she was promoting it like it was her business. So I thought that was super cool. And now I'm heading to Ceremony Coffee, where I kind of fell in love with this pineapple upside down latte, which sounds very odd, but like really worked. This was literally like 1 minute and I finished the whole thing.
No need to guess, no riddle. I felt blessed when the flex went civil. And this year, man, I wanna see it triple. Pray more, say less, that's official. It made me walk or the talk like it's minor. One call and it's like, tear my eyes up. You thought Gucci would bless your life up. My kind of drip from a different designer. New style and I love it. Man, I'm getting off quick with the cuzzy. When they set new heights, we fly above it. It's a miracle, you see the way it's hit the ground running. He don't set my pace, no enemy. No, more time flex on a bass and melody. Oh, that's my life, that's right, that's LV. I'ma be a blessing, right, for the legacy. I'm blessed. Too real, this ain't metaphoric. I'm blessed. Yeah. Like, I put a blessing on it. Too real, this ain't metaphoric. We just put the I in iconic.
Okay, so now I'm on my way to Blue Light Junction, which is this amazing studio that focuses on educating and preserving natural dyes and the traditions and histories behind them. We got to meet Kenya, the founder, while we were there, and she's amazing, like such a warm heart. And the class itself was the dyes of Mexico, which kind of went into the indigenous dyes of Mexico, specifically yellow dyes. And it was amazing. It was hosted by this lovely, lovely sweetheart named Jeanette. And it was great. You know how like there's people in the world who are using their life to make the world a better place? This is an example of those two. It was a really fun class. I learned so much. The vibes were there, the people were amazing. We got, like, this is how nice Kenya is. She wanted to welcome Jeanette into Maryland, and obviously Maryland's kind of known for their crabs, so she brought a whole bunch of crabs for all of us to eat, and that was so sweet. Okay, so we got to use wool to create samples of each plant. And as you can see, like all of the different plants had different shades of yellow. And then we got to use the yellow dye, and then we created green dye through the yellow dye. And so I'll show you at the end what all of the different ones looked like, but it was really fun. But yeah, it was cool. I got to learn. I never took a natural dyeing class before, but some of these are like plants or like flowers or leaves, and so there's a whole process that goes into it. But we got to kind of design our own silk scarf and dye them, and so she had like rocks and different threads, and we can kind of use the rocks to make like a natural element feel, and it was just cool. And then you tie them up, and then you put it in the dye, and I didn't know what I was doing, so I don't think mine didn't come out like any type of pattern or design, but other people's came out beautiful. So there's that. So I'm happy for them. But yeah, it was a great time. Okay, so Baltimore was amazing. I did not expect to love it as much as I did. The people were awesome. Like, I felt so warm and so welcome. I had a conversation for like an hour with this amazing lady I met at the park. Everyone was so kind. I loved it. I feel like after the pandemic, I just feel very awkward sometimes talking to people, but this trip I did not feel awkward at all, and I feel like that has so much to do with the people that I talked to. So I loved it. Again, I was only there for like 12 hours, so I barely scratched the surface, and I'm so excited to go back, and I already started planning like places I want to go to. But it was great, and the class itself was awesome. Like, the space is awesome, the people were kind, like, it was awesome. I love when you can tell there's intention behind everything. We went around, introduced ourselves, talk about what we were grateful for. Like, it just felt like a very warm, safe space. And it was cool. I learned a lot. And yeah, as always, I hope to leave you better than you came. So this week, I think what I wanted to share was a message that was like kind of a reoccurring mantra I tell myself, which is focus on what matters. It's so easy to get distracted, but genuinely paying attention to what you're paying attention to and focusing on the thoughts and like putting your energy towards things that actually matter, like putting your energy where you're trying to go. Don't get caught up in like celebrity gossip or other people's gossip. Like, does that actually matter? Is what you're investing your time and energy to anything to do with you and in bettering your life or your loved ones? If not, then like maybe focus on something else. Pop culture is super popular. Obviously, that's why it's called pop culture, but like, is that worth your time and energy? I don't know. If it's your source of like relaxing, go for it. But if you're trying to like build, don't get so caught up in it that is your life. You know what I mean? Unless you're getting paid to do so, then do you, boo. But for most of us, focus on things that matter. Put your energy towards things that matter to you or that will nourish you or help you grow, or just be more intentional about the one life we have to live. So yeah. And also but this week I realized that like confidence is so important. You could walk around with like the most crazy, different outfit, but if you're walking around with confidence, you will set a new trend. And so just, that's something I have to work on every day, and so I encourage y'all to do so too. But again, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I am forever grateful for you, and I hope you guys have a great week. Until next time.